When A-Train ran into Huey's poor girlfriend, the entertainment industry was hit with a curveball that it much needed. The Boys was a show that was able to stick out like a sore thumb amongst the saturated market of superhero titles that were going on at the time. You had evil Superman sucking on mommy milkers, butt plug bombs, intricate Spice Girl monologues, as well as Fab Five Freddy told me everybody's fly, DJ Spit, I said my. But now with the superhero genre on a downslope in popularity and quality, and The Boys now in its 4th season, the reception has not been as warm as seasons previous. So the question I want to ask is The Boys still good? The Boys has been one of my favorite shows that has been on the air for the past like 5 years now. This show is one of the most creative and groundbreaking shows of its time. To have a show be incredibly funny, as well as thoughtful and compelling in its themes, as well as offering generational performances from its actors, that doesn't just come around every so often. And season 4 has been one of the weirder experiences that I have had with the show. Season 3 was the peak of the show for me. From character development, stakes, Homelander, is Soldier Boy gonna get him? Oh my god, oh my god. The vibes of this season was immaculate. But season 4, in my opinion, has not lived up to the same level as season 3. It did not, in fact, match the freak. And I think that that's okay for the most part. Considering how this season ends and what it establishes, I'm sure I will look back at this season and be like, well, it had to happen this way, so that way we could get what we got. You look at a season like Game of Thrones season 5. It's a rather lackluster season, but with a season like season 6, you appreciate season 5 for establishing certain plot points and making the payoff feel even better to experience. So this happens oftentimes in television, and this season gives that vibe off very much so. Because what the season finale establishes has me incredibly excited for how the end of this show is going to go. Homelander in control of the government? I'm here for it. Everybody at their lowest and all hope is lost? I'm here for it. Billy Butcher on his crash out era, I'm about to do some really bad stuff? I'm here for it. But even with a great season finale, I refuse to just excuse this season for all of its flaws, questionable decisions, and bullshittery that has happened this season. Characters, writing and storytelling, social commentary. These are the 3 main contributing factors that I believe lead to this show being as great as it is. And this season is able to deliver in some of these aspects, but also it fumbles in others. So to truly determine whether or not this season is good, I'm gonna look at these 3 things and judge whether or not it succeeds in that department. So let's go ahead and start with characters. For this, I'm gonna go through most of the characters this season, tell you if I like them, see if their character arcs are good or not, give you a good old rundown. Homelander. I mean, he's arguably the best character in the show. Everybody with a microphone's gonna tell you that already. You can go find all these other video essays giving you the whole spiel about this Homelander guy.
Oh, Anthony Starr. He's so awesome. He's so this. He's so that. He encapsulates the current manifestation of America. He's the physical and metaphorical representation of all the bad qualities that is—
Fuck all that shit! He's back to sucking titties, baby! But I like him this season. The gray hair jar thing was a little bit weird, but Homelander just being in a constant deniability of his underlying humanity and trying to face that was a really cool development to see this season. One of the best parts of the season is where Homelander goes to his old facility where he was tortured and tested on when he was a kid, and he faces the demons of his past there. When he pulled up with the cake and that door closed, you get the sense of, yeah, I don't think anybody's hitting that 5 o'clock traffic today. Wasn't really here for the part where he made that dude jerk in front of everybody though, but you know, everybody deals with trauma differently. Starlight. Starlight is propped up as like the main combatant to Homelander. It's the Starlighters and the Homelander MAGAs. Their crowds are always evenly against each other, but Starlight never feels like an even adversary to Homelander. Hell, she barely feels like a hero at all most of the time. I feel like all Starlight does this season is pump fake like she is going to do anything, and then she does nothing.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Guys, it's always the eyes.
She is a glorified set of headlights for most of the season, just lighting up her eyes and everyone going, fucking relax, Starlight, you ain't gotta do all that. A-Train. Oh yeah. This was definitely the surprise of the season for me personally. A-Train's redemption arc has been building up gradually since last season. But A-Train in the beginning of the season, universally identified as a hey fuck that guy. Murdered Huey's girlfriend. Hey, fuck that guy. Botched a Make-A-Wish. Hey, fuck that guy. Really bad raps. Hey, fuck that guy. Murdered his girlfriend. Held Huey's dad hostage. Got Supersonic killed. Bad woke activism. Bad woke activism again. Got his brother paralyzed. Hey, fuck this guy. But since he's been faced with his actions affecting his family, A-Train has been on a redemption arc. He slowly started seeing the error of his ways and wished to abandon his bad tendencies and look to rectify the wrongs that he's done. He helps Huey and Starlight even though they didn't ask him to. He gets Huey Compound V to help his dad, to give Huey the opportunity to get closure with his dad. He gets his first actual say, and given the fact that it was revealed that everything A-Train has done has been faked up until this point, the fact that you see this kid being like, holy crap, A-Train, and A-Train coming to the realization that he just saved somebody for real is a nice touching moment, and one you could not tell me season 1 A-Train would ever do. I thought my man was gonna meet the Reaper at the end of the season though. But the good news is he didn't even show up for the last episode, so W, I guess. Frenchie. Oh my god, Frenchie. Frenchie has always been an eclectic character, that's for sure. He's trying to get in my ass! He's been very entertaining, but this season, I ask, why? When it comes to his character. Frenchie decides this season that he is going to sleep with a dude. But not just any dude. A dude whose family Frenchie murdered! Frenchie. Why? Frenchie, I hate to be that guy that tells you this, but there are a lot of fish in the sea. Why do you have to sleep with this guy in particular? Why? You could be with like a lot of different folks. You seem to indulge in a lot of different demographics. You're a very open-minded person. Why do you stop the train at this port, buddy? Frenchie is caught in the classic, oh man, I should tell him the truth. But this isn't a situation of I saw Sydney Snookums at the Broken Clam and we exchanged lips for a minute. This is an instance of I murdered your family. And I've been seeing you, and I've been aware that I murdered your family the entire time we've been talking. Remember when we would just be sitting, you and I and you tell me, damn, it sucks that that one dude murdered my family, and now I'm just all alone, and I would hit you with a, damn, that's crazy. And then after this confession that doesn't go so hot, Frenchie's like, oh, condemneur, I really made the bet on this particular one. I am going to turn myself into police. Nobody can find me. So Frenchie turns himself into the police for like all the murders he's done. And the question I ask again is why? Because 2 episodes later, he gets released from the prison on an account of Butcher just being like, boy, can't got strange pool to get Frenchie right on out of that cinder block playpen. So why don't we go right there? Cook up a fresh ready plate of some virus. Why did he even go to prison if he was just going to get released right after? Last season, Frenchie dealt with his past affecting his current life, and he had to deal with the demons of his past. In this season, he's doing the same thing, but instead of a woman from his past, it's a dude. And it's gay. And I'm all for a twink finding his bear, but the fact that it is a rather unnecessary storyline for the show to focus on, and takes away from the other story beats and storylines that could have been focused on more, and fleshed out better in favor of Frenchie doing coke and having the worst situationship of the last decade, I'll pass. Y'a pati Cheyenne. Huey's main op this season is his mom, and he gets like twice, so it's been rough for Huey. Sister Sage, Miss Know-It-All, but I like it. Black Noir, he talks now, and it's pretty funny. What you doing? Don't pan down. Don't pan down. No! The Deep is maybe my favorite comedic relief character ever.
I take responsibility for racism.
Sex is just a spectrum, right, bro?
Joke's on you. Me Too's over, sweetheart. It didn't work.
Wah, wah.
Firecracker is a diaper sniper that takes Alex Jones' talking points, and she has a superpower. But I forget it because I think she might have used it once, but she becomes Homelander's milk muse, so good for her. MM has no beard, and he has every shirt that is sold at Hot Top. Butcher is going through Super Fight Club. Kimiko. Oh, Kimiko. Where do I even begin, Kimiko? Listen, I know we don't know each other that well. That tends to happen sometimes. 2 strangers meeting in an unorthodox scenario. Me, a random guy on the internet. You, a Chinese girl.
Japanese.
A Japanese girl that doesn't talk too much. And I know you have super strength, but your true strength is how you carry yourself. You should give me a call. Maybe text. Maybe we should text. This season's main plot point is Homelander is trying to take control of the government so he can be Emperor Lord Commander of the world, and no one can stop him, even though there is already nobody that can stop him. That's one thing that I just can't not think in the back of my head. And obviously you could just be like, well, Homelander can't just go berserk and kill everyone and make himself Lord Commander of the world. And I'm just like, he can't? Why not? It's just funny to think that the biggest opposition of the big bad of The Boys this season isn't Butcher, it isn't MM or anything. It's the House of Representatives. Those laser beams have a lot of motion perhaps, but have you ever made a motion in a congressional setting? I don't think so, Cape Boy. I think the story of this season lacks in a lot of different ways. You have Homelander and Sister Sage making all of the major moves as far as how the story progresses. And everybody in The Boys is kind of just reacting to see what they do for the most part. The Boys is supposed to be a team. You look back at season 1 and everyone is piled up in a dirty, crappy van, waiting to make shit happen. But when we fast forward to season 4, none of them are together throughout, really. Huey's in a hospital for half the season. Frenchie is either beating the Doonies down on his victim or beating up nameless random Asian dudes with guns with Kimiko. Starlight is having a you're worse than me battle with Toddler Toucher. Butcher is just on geeking time. That or he's trying to convince Ryan that Homelander isn't the best option for Father of the Year. The show has to put these characters in certain scenarios to fill out the episodes and progress the plot forward. I mean, it's a show after all. It feels like the show doesn't believe in some of the scenes and scenarios that they put the characters through. So they will tend to lean into the absurdist nature of the show that they have established and kind of just hope that if they show a crazy thing on screen, it'll just justify whatever it is going on. Oh, they're at a crazy conspiracy convention. How about we see this dude in a human centipede sauna? That's crazy, right? Oh, they gotta go to Batman's mansion party to see what Homelander is up to. Let's see Huey get trapped in a sex dungeon.
I'm gonna sit my swollen on your stupid masked face and piss like a skunk. And I just had asparagus. You want that?
Yes?
Yes!
It's just that I look back at the side plots of this season and I kind of just wish that the focus was put towards something more compelling. What if we got a whole subplot where we follow Victoria Newman? We get to dive into her as a character, her motivations, really develop the reasons why she even wants to be president in the first place. She's had this air of mystery around her ever since it was revealed that she was a suit. It's always been, oh, what's Victoria gonna do? What does she even want? And you can have time dedicated to her. You have Stan Edgar show up this season. You can have him play a part in it, but they didn't do that. Butcher just rips her like a paper out of a notebook, and we don't know anything about what she wanted to do, what her motivations were. All we know is she just wants a better world for her daughter. And that's boring. Big plot point of the season is Billy Butcher's health. Because at the end of the last season, Doc told him, hey, you've got 6 months most, buddy. And that is very apparent this season. A big point of this season is Butcher is hallucinating. He's got a little tapeworm rummaging around his brain, and this manifests in his wife Becca and his old partner Joe Kessler. Joe a lot more. They kind of just tell Becca to fuck off after a while. But at first, you don't know that Joe Kessler is in Butcher's head. They have these points of contention, they tend to disagree, they agree on some parts. And then you start to pick up on trends. Oh, there's no one else nearby. They're meeting under a bridge.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
And then when it's revealed that Joe is just like Becca, a figment of Butcher's imagination, it's supposed to be a whoa, are you kidding me? What a twist kind of moment. But it falls flat. It's like, yeah, I already knew that. You can plant seeds for this reveal, but when you make it so obvious, you're just waiting for the reveal to happen. You're just like, all right, fine, come on. Just do it already, so that way I know. I am not a professional story writer, but for this soul thing, let's just pretend that I am the best writer in the world. In the beginning of the season, Becca is shown to Billy in order to showcase how bad his condition is getting. He's tweaking out, man. He's seeing dead X's. It's awkward enough when you see an alive X out in the wild, let alone a dead one. Then shortly after, you get Joe shown on screen. And what I would change is you don't get this scene or any scene with Becca for a while. You don't establish a concept of Billy talking to a person that we, the audience, knows is dead. You can have like a dream sequence with Becca, but not in like reality. Then you have Joe Kessler appear, and you're more inclined to think, this guy's just a normal guy. They have a bunch of combos, they go out and do a bunch of different stuff. And just because Joe isn't real doesn't mean you can't have him interact with people and do shit with people. I mean, Fight Club does it. Black Ops does it. You're telling me Butcher's cancered up brain can conjure up a whole person he thinks is real, but he can't imagine that person asking for a side of ranch at the local Dave's Hot Chicken? So then when you get to the reveal, you see Becca and you're like, oh, Butcher's really going through it. And then Kessler's there and you're like, wait. Whoa, wait, hold on, this looks awfully, what the fuck? But hey, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that one would have hit. A problem that I also had this season is I didn't feel as though there were a lot of stakes. For characters like Butcher, maybe, that dude's about to die. But you never felt this season that Homelander, the big bad, was gonna bite the bullet. And most of the show, you don't feel that way. They have created such a distance with him and everyone else, it doesn't even feel like when Homelander is eventually gonna die, that it's going to be believable. Hell, they don't even try to kill the other Supes in this show, let alone they're gonna try and kill Homelander. The Deep is right there. There's no reason to keep him around. And what do they do?
Well, let's go.
He's right fucking there. Let's do him.
Do you know how, Butcher? Because I don't.
What? You didn't even try! You're not even gonna get a crack at it? Something, please. Punch him extra hard. Just do something.
There is no passion. There is no vision. There is no aggression.
There also wasn't a point of this season where I thought Homelander wasn't going to be the Emperor, Commander, ruler of the world. Because even if him and Sister Sage fail with their plan, what are they gonna do? Send him to jail? No, he was gonna get the power one way or another. It was obvious from the get-go. It was really just a matter of how and when. I mean, Lord knows the boys weren't gonna kill him. The big weapon this season is a virus that was created in the spin-off Gen V. And the hope with it is that it will kill Homelander. But if they make it, it'll become airborne and it'll kill every Supe on the planet. And that creates a great dynamic for this guy. But as far as killing Homelander, to that I say, boring. You're telling me this guy we have followed for so long is gonna bite it because there's a green cloud hovering above him and he starts to get some warts and then dies? I don't care for that. I'm not saying I know the best course of action when it comes to killing Homelander in a satisfying way. Because at this particular part in the story, it isn't a matter of Homelander being dead and everyone going, hooray, the day is saved. This show has never been a run-of-the-mill superhero story. So it can't just end like a run-of-the-mill superhero story. And that's because this show has never been about superheroes. Homelander dying wouldn't solve all of the problems that our good guys in this story are facing. That's because the ideology associated with Homelander is damn near more important and more powerful than Homelander himself. The reason why Homelander doesn't just burst through the White House doors and make himself president is because it is so much more effective to have people follow and do as you say because they believe in what you tell them than when they do it because they are scared of you. There are people out there that like to say that this show is too political. It can be a major point of contention for certain people, specifically people that haven't even watched the show. There's so much to take from this show as far as enjoyment goes, to the point where you can easily lose the main message that this show is trying to provide. America. Superheroes are simply a tool used to create a commentary on how we as a society experience propaganda, governments dictated by corporations, as well as prejudice. And is there a lean that this commentary takes? Yeah, but it's not like they don't make fun of the other side too. But also, it's not like it's wrong. You see any of these rallies on the right, you realize after a while, it's not what this guy is saying up on the stage. It's about what he represents and what they think he is. And that is a very dangerous place to be. And it's a slippery slope. I don't think this show is trying to find a solution for the complex dilemma that we find ourselves in. I look at it simply as a medium for us to internalize and recognize serious topics and things that are very prevalent in our real world through a comfortable and more digestible way. And most of the time, the best art is able to do that and do it well. And this show does not fail in that department. So in conclusion, this season does a lot of good things in fleshing out character qualities and motivations, but sometimes it feels like a drag. The creativity of this show is still prevalent, and the performances are always there. And with season 5 being the final season of this show, I'm sure we can expect a lot of craziness and excitement to come. So to that I shall say, is The Boys still good? Yeah. Could have been better though.